The 10 thinnest people in the world. The number one spot weighs only 17 kilograms. One of them actually has a model figure, eating 80 meals a day. Throughout the long history of humanity, weight has always been one of the benchmarks for measuring health and beauty. But what many people do not know is that over 43% of adults globally are classified as overweight, while more than 1 billion people have been diagnosed with obesity. However, while the vast majority of humans are agonizing over how to lose weight, there is another extreme group in the world. Because of their extreme lack of body weight, they have garnered global attention. Some even weigh less than a preschooler. So, among the global population of over 8 billion, who exactly is the true champion of thinness? In today's video, the 10 thinnest people in the world. Have you ever seen someone so thin that even their body fat is hard to measure? Tom Staniford is exactly such a person. Standing in the sunlight, the lines of his body could almost be mistaken for an anatomical skeleton diagram. Tom Staniford stands 1.91 meters tall, yet weighs only about 65 kilograms. What is even more astonishing is that his body fat percentage is almost in the single digits. For an average person, this is simply unimaginable, because even among fitness fanatics or impoverished populations suffering from malnutrition, body fat can rarely drop this low, and the cause of all this is neither dieting nor food restriction, but a rare genetic mutation called MDP syndrome. Tom is one of only 8 people in the world diagnosed with this condition. This syndrome prevents him from storing any fat, and even his skin tissue appears thin as a cicada's wing. We usually assume that an extremely thin body implies frailty and weakness, but Tom's story is quite the opposite. He did not end up as a skeleton confined to a hospital bed. Instead, he is a professional cyclist who has won the National Paracycling Championship title. In fact, Tom was not born this thin. It was during his teenage years that he began to lose weight rapidly. Before that, he was like many other ordinary kids, enjoying a normal life. The sudden onset of this mutation meant his body gradually lost the ability to absorb and store fat. Consequently, his skin began to cling tightly to his bones, his facial features became more skeletal, his arms looked like thin bamboo poles, his cheeks became sunken, and even his hair, amidst these changes, gradually became thin and sparse. Furthermore, MDP syndrome does not just affect physical appearance and fat, it comes with other complications. For instance, his hearing gradually weakened, eventually leading to total deafness. This made his life even more challenging. To maintain a normal life and continue training, Tom also needs to wear hearing aids. For Tom, every day of life is a rebellion against his condition. However, he has not let his unique appearance lead to low self-esteem. On the contrary, he stands before the public with full confidence. In the world of cycling, many believe a sturdy physique is essential. Developing muscle is usually the key to success. But Tom proved with facts that disease cannot suppress a person's potential. In the world of fashion, being thin is the norm, but some people's ultra-thin physiques break all conventions, leaving everyone speechless. On season 15 of America's Next Top Model, Ann Ward, standing at 1.88 meters and weighing only 52 kilograms, shocked both the audience and the judges. From the very beginning, Ann's body type sparked widespread discussion. Her long, slender arms and legs seemed to defy the laws of physics. At that time, someone on the show even tried to wrap their hands around her waist. As a result, Judge Tyra Banks could easily encircle her entire waist with just 2 hands. This scene immediately became a viral sensation online. Furthermore, during the competition, Ann won Best Photo multiple times. Her outstanding performance made the judges take her seriously and won the hearts of the audience. In front of the camera, she displayed an incredible visual impact. Her slender silhouette actually became her unique aesthetic style. Before becoming a model, Ann never considered her physique an advantage. Due to her extreme thinness, she often faced ridicule and bullying from her classmates in high school. She was labeled with unkind names like freak and tall, skinny stick. These negative comments on her self-confidence had a profound and lasting impact. Ann once stated that she never thought she could enter the fashion world because her appearance seemed completely at odds with traditional beauty standards. However, it was precisely this alternative beauty that allowed her to stand out in the modeling industry In the fashion industry, beauty standards are gradually becoming more diverse. Anne's figure and her unique aura helped her find her niche within the industry. After America's Next Top Model ended, Anne quickly rose to fame, becoming a favorite for many fashion brands. Her tall stature and unique facial features made her a quick inspiration for many designers. However, along with success, Anne also had to face health-related skepticism. Because her body was so thin, many people questioned whether she had health issues. The public speculated that she might have eating disorders or other problems. In response to these accusations, Anne has always kept a low profile, but she once stated that she is naturally this thin and has never resorted to extreme measures. Her body structure was born this way. It was not intentional. Despite this, the fashion world's debate on health was once again pushed to the forefront. People began to reconsider whether the modeling industry should promote such an exceptionally thin physique. Although public opinion of her figure was mixed, Anne Ward was not deterred by it. She continued to shine in the fashion world, becoming a role model for many young models. In 2009, Jeremy Gillitzer's name once became a news headline, not because of his glory in the fitness modeling world, but because of his physical condition, weighing only 41 kilograms. Whenever his name was mentioned, his frail shadow would immediately appear in people's minds, and in the final years of his life, he practically became a living cautionary tale. In his early years, Jeremy Gillitzer was not someone who struggled with his weight. Quite the opposite. He was known for his fit, athletic, and healthy physique, appearing in numerous high-profile modeling shoots. Once upon a time, he possessed a perfectly chiseled body. Weighing a healthy 77 kilograms, he was a rising star in the fitness modeling world, admired and followed by countless fans. However, behind this image of success, a painful secret was hidden. He had been battling anorexia since his teenage years. The eating disorder slowly eroded his life and health. Jeremy's weight issues began during adolescence. Even as a young boy, his weight became a constant source of anxiety. His body shifted from muscular to extremely frail, as the fear of gaining weight took hold of his mind, leading him down a point of no return. At first, he simply wanted to stay lean, but as time passed, dropping weight became a morbid obsession. Jeremy did not just restrict his food intake. He also engaged in excessive exercise, causing his weight to plummet drastically in adulthood. Jeremy's skeletal structure became painfully visible, with his skin clinging tightly to his bones. His face became hollow, and his arms and legs resembled withered branches. This was not just an aesthetic issue. The unnatural weight loss took a massive toll on his physical well-being. His organs began to fail, and his body became incredibly weak. Jeremy was hospitalized multiple times for treatment, yet he could not escape the shadow of anorexia. Despite his desperate struggle, Jeremy Gillitzer ultimately passed away in 2010. At the young age of only 38, although anorexia is often perceived as a female condition, Jeremy Gillitzer's story made the world realize that this disease can also severely impact the lives of men. Among men, the signs of anorexia can be much more hidden. Societal expectations of male physical perfection make them reluctant to admit they have a problem. Jeremy's experience is a classic case of this hidden struggle. His transformation from fitness model to skeletal state forced people to re-examine the condition and the immense danger it poses to men. In the eyes of many, thin is a desirable word and a lifelong pursuit. Yet for Eugenia Cooney, it became the origin of her skeletal beauty label. Eugenia is a young woman living in Connecticut, USA. Since 2011, she has been on YouTube, sharing makeup tutorials, cosplay, and dance videos, quickly accumulating a massive following. Back then, though slender, she radiated a youthful glow, like a rising star. However, starting in 2015, her face gradually became sallow and haggard. By 2016, netizens began to notice her sickly appearance, worrying that she might be suffering from anorexia. According to World Health Organization standards, a body mass index (BMI) below 8.5 is considered underweight. For Eugenia, who stands 1.7 meters tall, her weight once dropped to a shocking 36 kilograms. Her BMI was only 12.4, far below the healthy range and dangerously close to the brink of organ failure. Her legs were as thin as chopsticks, and her ribs were so visible, it seemed as if they could pierce through her skin at a slight touch. This image could not help but remind people of the corpse bride from horror animations. Keep in mind that, among Eugenia's fanbase, there are many adolescents. These young people are often easily influenced by their idols. Her extremely thin physique was viewed by some as an ideal body, making her a focal point of public controversy. Some parents and mental health experts even believed her image might be promoting unhealthy body standards to young people. Despite facing a barrage of questions and criticism, Eugenia long insisted that her body condition was natural and that she felt healthy. In several videos, she stated that she was not what the outside world speculated. She suffers from an eating disorder. She also did not intentionally control her weight. Until early 2019, she announced her retirement from the internet to enter a rehabilitation center for treatment. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. But the good times did not last long. When she reappeared in the public eye, her weight and health condition had not shown any significant improvement. On the contrary, there was a trend of continued deterioration. It is important to note that the image of public figures tends to be magnified infinitely. Many people look up to idols as role models, pursuing a so-called perfect body, while ignoring the importance of health. The impact of this invisible body anxiety is far more terrifying than it seems. In 2006, a 17-year-old girl was surfing the web at home. Suddenly, she accidentally discovered a short clip. Driven by curiosity, she clicked on the video. However, what shocked her was that she was being called the world's ugliest woman. This girl's name is Lizzie Velasquez. She never expected that on the internet she would become such a focal point. Even more so, she never imagined this video would, in the days to come, fundamentally change her life. Lizzie Velasquez was born in 1989. Her physique was different from others since birth. She suffers from an extremely rare congenital condition called neonatal progeroid syndrome. This condition makes it impossible for her to gain weight. Her body fat is nearly zero. Standing at 1.52 meters, her weight has always hovered around 29 kilograms. You might think someone this thin must eat very little, but you could not be more wrong. It is said that Lizzie must eat every 15 minutes just to stay alive. She averages about 60 small meals a day, and sometimes as many as 80. Scientists still cannot fully explain Lizzie's condition. This disease is exceptionally rare, with only 3 recorded cases in the world. Lizzie is not just thin. Her body is almost unable to absorb nutrients. There is no fat layer under her skin, and her muscle mass is extremely limited. Consequently, her appearance is strikingly different from most people. Despite this, Lizzie did not surrender to her illness. Her inner spirit is far more resolute than her seemingly fragile exterior. In 2006, after discovering the malicious comments about her, she experienced a massive emotional blow. However, this did not break her. On the contrary, Lizzie decided to stand up, to fight back against cyberbullying and malicious attacks. She began using the internet to share her story, striving to spread positive energy. She started taking to the stage, telling the world she would not bow down to the judgment of others. In a highly publicized TEDx talk, Lizzie said, "You are the person who defines yourself, not others." This speech touched countless viewers and helped her win respect and support from all over the world. Though her physical condition is unique and full of challenges, Lizzie's perseverance, courage, and optimism have inspired people globally. She became an iconic figure against bullying, publishing several autobiographies, sharing how she overcame external malice and how she turned her vulnerabilities into strengths. In 2007, French photographer Oliviero Toscani, she shot a series of photos for the Italian brand Nolita as part of an advertising campaign reflecting the reality of anorexia. These images immediately caused a global sensation. The subject of the photos is a young woman who is almost literally skin and bones. Her gaunt face shows hardly a trace of body fat. With her ribs, collarbones, and shoulder blades clearly visible, it is as if every inch of her body is rejecting the energy required to sustain life. This woman is Isabelle Caro, a French model and actress. At the time, she weighed only 31 kilograms. Standing at 1.65 meters tall, her BMI was a mere 11.3, far below the healthy range. Before this campaign was released, Isabelle Caro had already been battling anorexia for 15 years. Anorexia is a psychological disorder, characterized primarily by an extreme fear of gaining weight. This illness is particularly prominent in the fashion world, especially within the modeling industry, where the excessive pursuit of thinness has become an invisible standard. Many young girls are deeply affected by this pressure. Isabelle Caro began struggling with anorexia at the age of 13. Fighting through long periods of extreme hunger and malnutrition, her weight once dropped as low as 25 kilograms. For an average adult woman, this is almost unimaginable. Isabelle Caro did not just lose her body fat. Her muscles severely wasted away, her organs were damaged, and her immune system became so weak she had almost no resistance. She once revealed in an interview that due to long-term malnutrition, almost all of her hair had fallen out. Her skin became dry and pale, taking on a sickly yellowish-brown hue. Her bones became brittle due to a lack of calcium, meaning even a slight mishap could lead to a fracture. She confessed she had faced death multiple times, often too weak to care for herself, and her emotions became highly unstable. She was hospitalized for treatment many times, but even with medical intervention, Isabelle Caro still could not escape the psychological grip that anorexia held over her. She agreed to do this advertisement because she wanted those shocking photos to show the public the true face of anorexia, raising awareness about the dangers of this disease. Her photos sparked widespread reflection within the fashion industry, prompting some fashion brands and nations to adjust their health standards for models. For example, France later passed a law requiring models to provide health certificates, ensuring their BMI does not fall below a certain standard to protect their physical well-being. However, despite her efforts to help others, by sharing her experiences, Isabelle Caro was ultimately unable to conquer the illness. In 2010, at just 28 years old, she passed away from a respiratory illness. Her fragile body could no longer endure the damage caused by years of anorexia. In a series of black and white photos, a figure so thin it is almost transparent floats in the darkness like a ghost. Her skeletal frame is clearly visible, every rib pushing against her skin. It looks like a scene straight out of a horror movie. Yet, these are actually raw, honest photographs of Lene Marie Fossen, while a healthy weight for an average adult woman is typically between 50 and 70 kilograms at her thinnest. Lene Marie Fossen weighed only 22 kilograms, barely a third of that value. If not less, her skeletal structure was almost entirely exposed, with her skin pulled tight against her bones. This extreme level of emaciation is a sobering testament to her struggle. It not only displayed the fragility of her body, but also became the outward manifestation of her inner struggle. Lene Marie Fossen's anorexia began to develop during her childhood and remained difficult to escape well into her adulthood. Consequently, Fossen's life became incredibly arduous. Every meal felt like a battlefield. She had to fight not only the voices in her head, but also deal with the shocked reactions of others to her physical condition. Despite this, Fossen refused to let her illness define her entire life. She chose to express herself through the medium of photography, documenting the raw reality of her fight against anorexia. Her work was both a form of self-expression and a rebellion against society's narrow definitions of beauty and health. In her work, she did not try to glamorize her condition, but rather faced her body head-on, revealing its true vulnerability and pain. Fossen exposed herself in an almost nakedly honest way. Her skeletal frame symbolized her inner turmoil and suffering. Through this method, she allowed people to intuitively feel the cruelty of anorexia, reminding us that it is more than just a physical illness. It is a deep-seated mental torture. In 2015, people around the world learned through media reports about Rachael Farrokh, a woman who had become almost transparently thin. This once vibrant actress and charity worker suffered from severe anorexia, with her weight dropping to an unbelievable limit. She was so thin she weighed only 18 kilograms. What does 18 kilograms look like? That is lighter than an average 5-year-old child. Yet Rachael herself stands nearly 1.7 meters tall. Such a ratio of weight to height makes it almost impossible to imagine how she survived. This state of extreme emaciation did not happen overnight. It was the result of years of anorexia. When Rachael first began dieting, she never realized this would be the turning point of her life. When the weight loss started, she was like many others, simply hoping to stay slim. and maintain a healthy physique. However, anorexia is a complex psychological disorder once trapped within it. It causes patients to develop an extreme fear of food, even viewing eating as a sin. Gradually, Rachael lost control over normal eating habits, and her body began to waste away rapidly. At the height of her illness, even walking or simply standing was a monumental challenge for Rachael. Her muscles had atrophied, leaving her bones almost entirely unprotected, with skin clinging tightly to bone. Her entire body resembled a delicate skeleton. At this point, she was not just thin. Her physical state was on the verge of collapse. She often felt powerless and weak, unable to complete even the most basic daily activities. In 2015, she released a video, sincerely pleading for help. She hoped to crowdfund her medical expenses. In the video, Rachael spoke with a raspy voice about her journey fighting anorexia. Her pale face and skeletal shadow broke the hearts of countless viewers. Following the release of the video, Rachael received donations and support from all across the globe. People did not just donate money to her, but also sent waves of encouragement and blessings. Her husband, Rodriguez, stayed by her side throughout this entire ordeal, becoming her strongest pillar of support. With the help of the public and the support of a professional medical team, Rachael finally emerged from her darkest days. Her weight has gradually returned to a much healthier range. When 7 kilograms, you might think of 2 bags of rice, or perhaps a bicycle, but you would never imagine this to be the weight of an adult woman. That is right, this figure belonged to a 26-year-old Russian woman, Kristina Karyagina. At that time, even staff from an agency contacted Kristina to ask if she would be willing to play a zombie role, because she looked skin and bones, with sunken facial features, looking exactly like a living dead from a movie. However, appearance was the least of the problems for the extremely frail Kristina at the time. Medical data reveals that for an adult suffering from anorexia, if weight drops to the 18 to 25 kilogram range, it is already considered critically dangerous and can be fatal. Yet Kristina's condition was actually below that lower limit. Her life was hanging by a thread. In 2016, Kristina appeared on the show Let Them Talk. There, Kristina and her family were informed that without medical intervention, her life could end within a year. Fortunately, at this critical juncture, Dr. Goland reached out to provide Kristina with free treatment. The key to treating anorexia lies in guiding patients to join self-help groups to learn and practice healthy eating habits and coping mechanisms in hopes of reclaiming their lives. Everything went smoothly. On the second day of treatment, Kristina bravely tried foods she had always avoided before. This was her first breakthrough in months. Following that, she began a long-term battle against anorexia. Due to prolonged malnutrition, Kristina was classified as having an irreversible lifelong disability. Even by the time she was 31, her weight was still under 44 kilograms. However, the immediate threat to her life has greatly receded. Nowadays, Kristina mainly uses a wheelchair to get around. Despite her condition, she serves as a deputy chair of arbitration, working remotely from home. Most of her free time is dedicated to recovery, though she occasionally indulges in reading and painting. Her health has significantly improved, and her once sunken face has regained its vitality. Well, that wraps up today's video. Out of the 10 thinnest people introduced today, who left the deepest impression on you, feel free to let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.